The biggest misunderstanding between cats and humans: your cat suddenly flops onto the floor, stretches out, rolls onto its back, and exposes its belly while staring right at you. At that moment, almost every cat owner thinks the same thing. My cat wants a belly rub. It seems obvious. After all, dogs often do exactly that. So you reach out your hand, expecting a sweet moment of affection. Then, in a split second, everything changes. Your cat grabs your hand with both front paws, kicks with its back legs, gives you a quick bite, or jumps away as if you completely misunderstood the situation. If this has ever happened to you, here's something that may surprise you. Your cat probably wasn't being unpredictable. It wasn't changing its mind, and it certainly wasn't trying to trick you. Studies of feline behavior show that exposing the belly is one of the most misunderstood signals cats give to humans. What looks like a simple invitation for petting is often a completely different message, one that most owners never learn to recognize. The fascinating part is that your cat may have been expressing deep trust at the exact moment you believed it was asking for physical contact. The problem is that humans naturally interpret feline body language through a human perspective. We assume that if someone exposes a vulnerable part of their body, they're inviting interaction. Cats don't think that way. Their language follows different rules, shaped by instincts that have helped them survive for thousands of years. Until you understand those rules, many of your cat's most important messages will seem confusing. What if everything you've believed about the famous belly trap is wrong? What if touching the belly isn't the mistake itself, but misunderstanding the message behind it? By the end of this video, you'll know why cats expose the most vulnerable part of their bodies, why some react instantly when it's touched, why a few actually enjoy belly rubs, and, most importantly, how to tell the difference before your hand ever reaches your cat. Once you understand this hidden language, you'll never see that adorable belly the same way again. The belly is not an invitation, it's a message. The first thing to understand is that your cat isn't communicating in the same way a human or even a dog would. When a cat rolls over and exposes its belly, the gesture isn't automatically asking for physical contact. More often, it's delivering a message, and that message begins with trust, not permission. Researchers who study feline behavior have observed that cats willingly expose their bellies only when they feel relatively safe in their surroundings. From an evolutionary standpoint, this makes perfect sense. The belly contains the body's most vulnerable organs, so exposing it is something a cat would rarely do if it believed danger was nearby. This is where so many misunderstandings begin. Your cat may be saying, "I don't see you as a threat," while you're hearing, "Please pet my belly." Those are two completely different conversations. Imagine sitting comfortably beside someone you deeply trust. Just because you feel safe around them doesn't mean you want them to suddenly invade your personal space. Cats experience something very similar. Feeling secure and wanting to be touched are separate emotional states. This is why a cat can peacefully lie on its back for several minutes, showing complete confidence, then react the instant a hand reaches toward its stomach. The reaction isn't necessarily anger or rejection. In many cases, you've simply crossed a boundary your cat never intended to invite you across. Specialists in animal behavior often explain that cats communicate through context rather than isolated gestures. A belly on display doesn't tell the whole story. It is only one piece of a much larger conversation taking place through posture, facial expression, muscle tension, and movement. Once you realize that your cat is speaking a different language, instead of sending mixed signals, something remarkable happens. Behaviors that once seemed random suddenly become predictable. But to understand why the belly triggers such a powerful instinctive response, you first need to know what makes this part of a cat's body so incredibly important. Why the belly is the most protected part of a cat's body. Long before cats shared our homes, they survived by making thousands of life-or-death decisions. Every movement mattered, every mistake carried a cost. One of the most important survival rules was simple: protect the belly at all costs. Unlike the back, shoulders, or legs, the belly offers very little natural protection. Just beneath the skin are vital organs that are essential for survival. In a confrontation with another animal, an injury to this area could be devastating. That's why wild felines instinctively twist, curl, or strike the moment something threatens their underside. What surprises many owners is that this instinct never disappeared. Even though your cat sleeps on a soft bed and has no predators to fear, its brain still carries ancient survival programs. Evolution works slowly, and behaviors that kept generations of cats alive don't simply vanish because life has become comfortable. This explains why the reaction to a belly touch often happens almost instantly. Your cat isn't stopping to think, "Should I allow this?" The response is automatic. The nervous system recognizes unexpected contact in a highly sensitive area and reacts before conscious thought has time to catch up. That doesn't mean your cat believes you're dangerous. In fact, many cats react this way even with the people they love most. It's an instinctive reflex, similar to how you might pull your hand away from something hot before you even realize you've touched it. Behavior specialists often point out that understanding these instincts changes the way we see our cats. Instead of labeling them as moody or unpredictable, we begin to recognize that they're following deeply rooted survival patterns that have existed for thousands of years. This also raises an important question. If exposing the belly is a sign of trust, and protecting it is such a powerful instinct, why do some cats grab your hand, kick, and bite as if they planned it all along? The answer is far more surprising than the idea of a simple belly trap. The trap that isn't really a trap. Almost every cat owner has experienced the same confusing moment. You gently touch your cat's belly, and within a fraction of a second, your hand is wrapped between two front paws. Then come the rapid kicks from the back legs, followed by a quick bite that seems to appear out of nowhere. It feels like your cat set a trap just for you, but that isn't what's happening. Researchers who observe feline behavior explain that this sequence is actually a defensive response, not a planned ambush. When something suddenly makes contact with a highly sensitive area, your cat instinctively secures the object with its front paws while using its back legs to create distance. Those powerful kicks are the same movements cats naturally use during play, hunting practice, and self-defense. The bite is also often misunderstood. In many cases, it isn't meant to injure. It's a clear signal that says, "That's enough." Cats don't have words to establish boundaries, so they rely on physical communication. If the warning is ignored, the intensity of the reaction can increase. Another reason this behavior surprises people is timing. Your cat may look completely relaxed one second and react the next. That sudden shift creates the illusion that it changed its mind. In reality, the line was crossed the moment the belly was touched. The relaxed posture and the defensive response can exist together because they are controlled by different parts of your cat's instinctive behavior. This is why some owners say, "My cat attacked me for no reason." From the cat's perspective, there was a reason. The message it intended to send was different from the one the human received. Once you understand that this famous trap is actually a misunderstanding between two different languages, your cat's behavior starts making much more sense. The next discovery is even more important because it reveals something most people never consider. A cat can trust you completely and still not give you permission to touch it. Those are not the same thing. The secret difference between trust and permission, one of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that trust automatically means unlimited access. With cats, it doesn't. In fact, one of the strongest relationships you can build with a cat begins when you understand the difference between being trusted and being invited. When your cat chooses to lie beside you, falls asleep in your presence, or exposes its belly, it is revealing something incredibly valuable. It feels safe. Studies of feline behavior suggest that cats become more willing to display vulnerable postures when they are confident that the environment and the people around them pose no immediate threat. But feeling safe doesn't erase personal boundaries. Think about the moments when your cat rubs against your legs. Sometimes it wants more interaction and follows you around. Other times, it rubs against you and then calmly walks away. The affection was real, but it happened on your cat's terms. The same principle often applies to the belly. Your cat may be expressing confidence without inviting physical contact. This perspective changes the entire relationship. Instead of asking, "Why won't my cat let me touch its belly if it loves me?" a better question becomes, "What is my cat trying to tell me right now?" That small change shifts your focus from what you want to what your cat is actually communicating. Animal behavior specialists often explain that respecting a cat's boundaries increases its confidence over time. Cats quickly learn who pays attention to their signals and who ignores them. When they discover that their body language is understood, they become more relaxed, more predictable, and often even more affectionate. Ironically, the less you feel the need to test your cat's trust by touching its belly, the more secure your cat begins to feel around you. Trust grows when it isn't constantly challenged. The question now is how to recognize the difference before making a mistake. Fortunately, your cat almost always tells you exactly how it feels. The signs are there, but they're much smaller than most people realize. And once you notice them, you'll wonder how you ever missed them. The micro-signals that reveal what your cat really wants. Your cat almost never communicates with a single gesture. Instead, it combines dozens of tiny signals that, together, reveal exactly how it feels. The problem is that most people notice the belly, but ignore everything else. Start with the ears. If they're relaxed and naturally facing forward or slightly to the sides, your cat is likely comfortable. But if they suddenly rotate backward or flatten as your hand approaches, that's often an early warning that the interaction is becoming unwanted. Now look at the tail. A tail resting quietly on the floor usually suggests calmness. If the tip begins flicking sharply or the tail starts swishing from side to side, your cat may be becoming overstimulated. Many owners only notice this after the bite, even though the tail warned them several seconds earlier. The eyes also tell an important story. Soft eyelids and slow blinks often indicate relaxation. Wide, intensely focused eyes with enlarged pupils can signal excitement, play mode, or increased alertness. In those moments, even a gentle touch may trigger an instinctive reaction. Pay attention to the muscles as well. A truly relaxed cat feels loose. The legs rest naturally, the shoulders aren't tense, and breathing remains slow and steady. But if the front paws subtly shift into position, the shoulders tighten, or the hind legs begin to tuck underneath the body, your cat may already be preparing to respond before you've even made contact. Behavior specialists often say that cats whisper before they shout. They rarely skip straight to biting or kicking. Most give several quiet warnings first. The challenge is that humans are usually looking for one obvious signal instead of reading the entire conversation. Once you learn to connect these small details, your cat becomes much easier to understand. You'll often predict its next move before it happens. But there's still one mystery left to solve. If these instincts are shared by all cats, why do some happily accept belly rubs, while others refuse them every single time? Why some cats love belly rubs, while others hate them? One of the biggest myths about cats is that they all follow the same rules. The truth is that every cat has its own comfort zone, shaped by a combination of personality, life experiences, and early socialization. That's why one cat may happily enjoy a gentle belly rub, while another reacts the instant your hand gets close. Researchers have found that kittens who experience calm, positive interactions with humans during their first weeks of life often become more tolerant of handling as adults. But even then, tolerance isn't the same as preference. A cat may accept belly touches without actually enjoying them. Personality also plays a huge role. Some cats are naturally more confident and physically affectionate. Others prefer to express their bond by simply staying close, rubbing against your legs, or sleeping beside you. Neither personality is more loving than the other. They're simply different ways of communicating. Past experiences matter too. A cat that has been startled, restrained, or handled roughly may become especially protective of sensitive areas. On the other hand, a cat that has consistently learned it can trust gentle, respectful interactions may become more relaxed over time. Even the same cat can respond differently depending on the moment. A cat that accepts belly rubs while lying on your bed after a long nap may reject them during an energetic play session or while watching activity outside the window. Context changes everything. Mood, energy level, environment, and even subtle noises can influence how your cat feels in that exact moment. This is why comparing your cat to someone else's rarely makes sense. Two cats living in the same house, raised by the same family, can develop completely different boundaries. What matters isn't whether your cat behaves like others, it's whether you understand the unique language your own cat is speaking. The good news is that you don't have to convince your cat to enjoy belly rubs. There's something far more valuable you can do instead. Something that quietly strengthens your bond every single day without forcing a single interaction. How to make your cat trust you even more. Many people think the strongest bond with a cat comes from touching it as much as possible. In reality, the opposite is often true. Cats tend to trust the people who respect their choices, not the ones who constantly seek physical affection. When your cat rolls onto its back, try resisting the urge to reach for the belly. Instead, stay relaxed and let your cat make the next move. You may notice something surprising. Rather than walking away, your cat may remain beside you, roll onto its side, rub its head against your hand, or gently nudge you toward a place where it actually enjoys being petted, such as the cheeks, chin, or behind the ears. Animal behavior specialists explain that giving cats control over social interactions helps them feel secure. Every time your cat realizes it can show vulnerability without having its boundaries crossed, its confidence in you grows a little stronger. Over time, this creates a relationship based on predictability instead of uncertainty. You'll often see this trust appear in subtle ways. Your cat may choose to sleep closer to you, follow you from room to room, greet you at the door, or blink slowly while looking into your eyes. These behaviors are not random. They're signs that your cat has learned you, understand its language. Ironically, people who stop insisting on belly rubs often discover that their cats become more affectionate overall. They climb onto laps more frequently, seek attention more often, and remain relaxed during petting sessions because they no longer expect their boundaries to be ignored. The goal isn't to make your cat tolerate something it dislikes. The goal is to create an environment where your cat feels completely safe choosing when and how to interact with you. That's the kind of trust that cannot be forced. And yet, there is one fascinating exception. There are moments when exposing the belly really is an invitation to touch it. They are rare, easy to miss, and completely different from what most people imagine. Once you recognize these signs, you'll know exactly when your cat is truly saying, "You can pet me now." The surprising moment when showing the belly really is an invitation. After everything you've learned, you might think the answer is simple. Never touch your cat's belly. But that isn't entirely true. There are cats that genuinely enjoy belly rubs, and even cats that usually dislike them may occasionally invite this kind of contact. The difference is that they don't communicate it with the belly alone. When a cat truly welcomes belly petting, its entire body looks relaxed. The muscles remain loose, the paws stay soft instead of preparing to grab, the tail rests calmly, and the eyes have a peaceful expression rather than an alert one. More importantly, your cat doesn't just tolerate your hand. It leans into the touch, remains comfortable, or even asks for more by rubbing against you or staying in the same position. Even then, the best approach is to move slowly. Begin with the areas most cats naturally enjoy, such as the cheeks or chest, and let your cat guide the interaction. If it shifts closer, stretches comfortably, or keeps exposing its belly without any signs of tension, you may gently explore that area for a brief moment. The instant your cat stiffens, flicks its tail sharply, pulls its ears back, or starts positioning its paws, it's time to stop. Respecting that signal is far more important than trying to squeeze in one more second of petting. Experts in feline behavior often remind us that communication is a two-way process. The happiest cats aren't necessarily those that receive the most affection, they're the ones that feel understood. Perhaps that's the real lesson hidden behind the famous belly trap. Your cat was never trying to fool you. It was speaking a language that many humans never learned to hear. Once you stop seeing the exposed belly as a simple request for petting and start recognizing it as an act of trust, your relationship changes completely. Your cat doesn't measure love by how often you touch its belly. It measures love by something much quieter, whether you listen when it speaks without saying a single word,